This is Roger Hoover. Now, please be joined by the first NASCAR driver we've had on the show since NASCAR became a partner of ours last year. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the winner of the Daytona 500 this season, joining us now as we get set for the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday at Talladega. First of all, Ricky, welcome to the show. I got to say, roll tide to you, though. I know you're an Ole Miss football fan.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Like I was telling you before we started here, I was hoping the game was going to go a little different, so I really look forward to this interview. I might be wearing my Ole Miss stuff today, but no, I just tough game, but part of college football, that's for sure.
It certainly is. So tell us about growing up an Ole Miss fan. You're from Mississippi originally, but so you're nearby Alabama, but just what made Ole Miss your team?
Well, just being from Olive Branch, Mississippi, obviously love football, love the SEC, and it was either Ole Miss or Mississippi State. And I leaned towards Ole Miss. Had a lot of friends and other people that went to Ole Miss, and then I would say I became a massive fan when Coach Freeze was there. Coach Freeze and I are tight, and we built a great relationship, and so. I would say that's when I really became a massive Ole Miss fan. Growing up, I would pull for him, but growing up, I was more worried about racing and things like that. I wasn't sitting around on Saturdays watching college football. I was out at the go-kart track racing go-karts every Saturday. So as a kid.
Well, most races now that you're at the Cup level, of course, are on Sunday. What's it like in the NASCAR garage on a college football Saturday? Obviously, usually has the Xfinity race going on as well, but is everyone kind of tuned in? Who are some guys that really love the Crimson Tide that are out there?
Larry McReynolds loves the Crimson Tide. He's I don't know. You would think, he was a crew chief in our sport for a long time. You would think he actually coached the Crimson Tide at one point, but no, there's a lot of people that watch. I don't know who pulls for what teams, but Saturdays are perfect for us really on most schedules. This week, unfortunately, I had an appearance to go to during our game, but for the most part, Saturdays are awesome. I wake up, watch college game day, and then we go practice and qualify, and then get back, and just most of the afternoon after that is just watching college football. So between that and the Xfinity race, flipping back and forth. But Saturdays are great in the fall NASCAR races.
Certainly is a special time. Well, I know a special time for you was, of course, in February of this year. The first race of the season is always a thrill. It's the best race there is, the Daytona 500. What was your preparation like for that race, and ultimately what led to the win for you and JTT Dougherty Racing?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like in 2022 we really set ourselves up for a win. We were in the top. We were leading with 6 or 7 to go. We were in the top 4 with 4 laps to go, and got spun out coming off of turn 4, battling for the lead. And so we felt like if we could put ourselves in that same position again, we'll see how it works out. And super speedway racing, you never know exactly how all the chips are going to fall when it's all said and done. But all you can do is put yourselves in the right positions and study and figure out what positions you need to be in. And so we didn't have the fastest car, but we had a car that drove really well, and missed some wrecks and just situated ourselves in the right spot, coming down to the end of the race, and made some really good moves, had some really good pushers, and blocked the right lanes at the right time. And then being out front when that last caution came out is what kind of sealed it for us.
Well, you've had a lot of success in your career before, but what was it like winning the Daytona 500, the celebration immediately, and then how did things kind of change for you right afterwards?
Winning the Daytona 500 is, the biggest race of the year for us. I mean, winning the championship in Phoenix is probably as high, but the problem is there's only 4 people racing for that championship. So for the rest of the sport, I mean, I would say winning the Daytona 500 is similar to winning a championship Super Bowl game. And so, man, it was wild. We had won at Daytona before, and so I felt like I knew what that Daytona, victory lane is like, but I mean, it was nothing comparable with everything that went into that race and the preparation, victory lane, and then obviously all the media and everything right after. The next morning, the next week, flying to Chicago, New York, doing all these things to help promote our sport was super cool, super tiring. I think I averaged about 3 hours a night sleep. But it was well worth it, and definitely would do that again. But that set us up, for a great season. I felt like we were a little bit more relaxed going into the rest of the regular season, and it proved we were able to gain enough points to make the playoffs, whether we had that win or not. And that was a big goal for us, and we accomplished that, and something that we were proud of. And yeah, we got knocked out of the playoffs, after Bristol, but we finished top 10 at Bristol, finished top 10 at Texas this past weekend. Hopefully we can get another win at Talladega this weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned the top 10 finish at Texas on Sunday. Just what led to some good results for you there?
Just perseverance. Our biggest struggle this year has been qualifying, and that's just something that we're trying to figure out. And we went into this weekend after getting knocked out of the playoffs, and we were like, all right, let's try and figure out how we can get better at this area of our game, so that going into next year, that won't be an issue for us. But we still didn't qualify good. I felt like we were a little closer, but not great still. And then just I felt like our car was really good during the race, but it was just so hard to get track position, towards the front of the field. Finally, we got toward the front there at the end. We restarted 14th, a couple of restarts, and worked our way up into 9th on the last restart. So I felt like our car was good, but we just got to qualify a little bit better. And, we got Talladega coming up, and I know we'll always have a shot there.
Absolutely. What do you love about racing at Talladega?
Just the atmosphere. And, it's basically my home track. It's only 4.5 hours away from home. And ever since I started my career, we always had a bunch of friends and family that would come down to the race, and just a ton of support. And then obviously a lot of Mississippi fans that come over to the race as well, which is really fun. And then they always put on great concerts. Looking forward to Hardy this Saturday night in the infield. That'll be a good show, a good party. And the racetrack is fun. It's really wide compared to Daytona. Daytona is a super speedway, but it's a lane narrower than Talladega is. And so Talladega, you get 3 wide comfortable. You can get 4 wide. You get 4 wide at Daytona, you're in trouble. So Talladega is just a little bit bigger of a racetrack, and a little closer to home, which is nice.
Absolutely. You mentioned the concert coming up with Hardy on Saturday. Just how much do you enjoy kind of the party atmosphere of Talladega? Because again, it is unlike anywhere else in racing.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, normally, back in the day, we wouldn't really practice a whole lot. We had qualifying, but we would come in on Fridays. And so, kind of Friday night for sure, all the drivers would, kind of go out on the boulevard, hang out with fans, check everybody out, and, just have a good time. And then the concert Saturday night, obviously we keep it a little tamer for Saturday night, rolling into the race on Sunday. But nobody else does. The infield is rocking every single night, and it's just cool to see our fans out having fun, everybody hanging out together, and then knowing that they're there to watch us race is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to Sunday's Yellowwood 500. Ricky, we wish you the best of luck with that coming up. And before we let you go, how do you feel like the Rebels are going to try and bounce back against LSU this week and try and make something out of this season?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I felt like, watching Alabama the first few weeks, I'm like, hey, we got a shot. Alabama's not in the shape that they normally are in. And I would say LSU is kind of the same way. And I feel like any SEC game, you really never know. SEC is just so tough. I feel like we just beat each other up all the time. And then you end up only having a couple teams that come out unscathed. So it's wild. I love watching football in the SEC. I feel like it's just totally different than anything else. But they're going to need a big bounce back for sure.
Well, there you go. Well, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., again, thank you so much for your time here with us on Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Alabama and NASCAR have loved this partnership, and we look forward to everything coming up on Sunday in Talladega. Just all the best to you, finishing the season strong. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.